just really quick before we start, it's really windy tonight, so hopefully that's not too distracting. And it's also quite rainy, but I actually like the rain, so hopefully it is relaxing if you can hear it. I said in my last couple of videos, but these are so sensitive for some reason when like they were so cheap compared to the other ones. But you know, it is what it is. They're really, really sensitive to sounds. I know this is a whisper ramble, and I have done so many whisper rambles recently, but I just wanted to talk. Yeah, I've done so many, but at least my last one was a coloring video, and I had a little bit of different sounds in it. It wasn't just the whispering, which by the way I finished it by myself and I brought it along. I found a little frame that goes with it. It's just like a glass frame that covers it, and I think it turned out really cute. I kind of experimented a little bit more, like with this guy. You can see I did like my own little patterns here and there. Anyway, that's all. I just finished it off, and I had a fun time just like sitting. I think I had a podcast on in the background, and I colored it for hours. It was like maybe 3 in the morning. I just been like on a podcast, and then I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine because that's completely my comfort show. And it was just so nice. So if you are looking for something to do and you have a printer, just print out a coloring page and do that for a while because it was really relaxing. I also wanted to say thank you so much for anything PayPal related. I set it up not really expecting, and it's been really nice. Anything anyone's tipped, and the lovely messages that come along with it, so thank you very much. And finally, there was something else I wanted to say. I wanted to just kind of say how strange I feel like the blowing up of like my lo-fi Ramble got a lot more views than I'm used to getting, and I don't really know why. I just remember like going to bed after it was uploaded, because it's uploaded around 8 p.m. my time, so then I checked any kind of comments that came in and responded to those, but I woke up the next morning and checked it, and I was like, what is going on? So I just didn't expect that. It was just a video that I did, and I was like, oh no, I don't know if I love it, because I always feel like that about Rambles, because they are just so disjointed and like everywhere, and anything is said, and it just like nothing really of significance is brought up. So whatever. I had like no expectations for it, but there it is. God, the wind is so strong. Yeah, so I mean, here we are. We're sitting here today, and we're just doing another one of these rambles. I recently got a PlayStation, which, you know what, if you don't like video games, whatever, we can just talk normally. But there were so many games that I hadn't played because I never had a PlayStation before, so I missed out on a lot of games from like the previous PlayStation 4. Anyway, whatever. So I've been replaying a lot of those. By replaying, I mean playing them for the first time, but really, really late. And I've also been watching movies and TV shows that I've never watched before, so I'm like really in just like a lot of content that's not new to me, or that is new to me, that's not familiar to me is what I meant. And experiencing a lot of different stories, and it's been really cool. It's been really emotional. There's been a lot of stories that have made me cry, and that's fun. I mean, in the moment, it's always really like, oh, look what this like piece of content is doing to me. But I always appreciate it a lot afterwards. There's one in particular game that makes me cry, which is it's like a free demo for Life is Strange 2. so weird. I played Life is Strange 1, and if you don't know what Life is Strange is, it's like an interactive movie almost. It's like a choice-based game, and it's kind of, you make choices to, affect the story. Now, I don't know how much it actually affects the story, but anyway, it was a good time back when I played it. I played it when it came out, and it was cool to like wait for the new episodes and whatever, but the demo was called Captain Spirit, and I played it when it came out because it was a free demo, and do not know why, but I just was like, it hit me really, really hard, and I had no expectations of it hitting me. I remember I tried to do live streaming a while ago. It was like everyone was doing it, and at the time, I played on Xbox, and Xbox had just bought a streaming service called Mixer, and it was kind of like everywhere, like, oh, Mixer, and I was like, oh, you know what, let me just try it. I am like, it's during summer, what else am I gonna do? So I just decided I streamed that, because I thought, oh, it'll be kind of fun to like do it with some people there, and it was a terrible idea. Because first of all, it's very much like on the homepage of Xbox, so everybody's coming in there, or like anybody can just kind of find you really easily, which was sometimes fun because you get like interesting people in there, whatever. But I had a lot of people be like, why are you crying? It's like, it's just like a kid. And anyway, it's not really that. I don't even think it's that emotional. I don't think I would cry today to it, but at the time I was just like, whoa. Anyway, it is what it is. But I've been like watching different types of movies and TV shows, and weirdly a lot of documentary series on Netflix and stuff. There was the one about the Night Stalker, which I watched a while ago, and that was wild. And there was one about the Cecil Hotel and the disappearance of Elisa Lam, which was also wild. And there was one I started to watch, but I just didn't really like it, but I forget the name. It was like a murderer. Anyway, it's fine. It wasn't that great. But I always find every time I watch a documentary that is like done really well, it always just makes me want to like, oh, I want to do something better, or I want to do something more exciting. I want to make something, you know. It always just inspires me to make. Even when I like look at play a video game that I really like, or that makes me feel something, always just makes me want to do something else, like do something more impactful. And because you don't always feel like you're leaving an impact, or you don't always feel like you're leaving, or you're doing something substantial. But when I watch something or see something that makes me want to, I'm like, oh, why am I not doing something like that right now? Why am I not making people feel the same way that this show or this game has made me feel? But the rain. But yeah, it's like, I mean, it's hard to make people feel things because you have to make them understand your perspective and relate to it, or find a way to engage with it. I don't know. It's not something that I have accomplished yet. But I like making things, so maybe one day I'll make something great. Who knows? Who knows? I'm gonna keep on trying. So anyway, the point of this was to just talk about the fact that I've been like doing nothing. I've just been doing nothing. I have been, as I have said in every ramble since quarantine, I've been going for a walk, and that's been nice. It's always nice to go out for a walk, although I'm in kind of like I wouldn't say remote area, but it's not in a town, so I have like a really nice laneway to walk, which has been really nice too. Like, it feels lonely, not lonely in a bad way, but like, it's just me and a dog, or two dogs. I sometimes don't bring both walk, so it does really slowly. And, you know, she gets excited, and it's really, really cute. And then we come home, and she's absolutely fine to just sleep. And then we bring not as old a dog. She comes on most of them, but she's not like if you're going on like a bike ride or something, you know, she won't be able to keep up because she's a little bit older. And then our youngest dog, he's completely fine. He's gonna do whatever. Anyway, I'll have both of them or one of them, and it's just like us, you know, just walking. I have a podcast on or music on while I'm walking, and it's just nice. But whenever you meet somebody on the laneway, because it is so like solitary, and you feel so like, oh, I'm just, you know, just here alone. And I know that might sound like a little bit creepy, but it's honestly really nice. So I'll like see somebody in a car or walking their dog or cycling or running or doing something, and you're like, oh god, you just like don't, I every time just don't expect to see anybody, even though there might be days where I see like 10 or 15 people, which is a lot of people for where I live. And it's always like, oh, what are you doing here? I thought I was walking alone. And it's always really strange when you're walking. I always have my podcast or whatever I'm listening to really low so that I can hear a car behind me or somebody walking up behind me or something. But sometimes you just don't like hear them, and they like jog past or something, and it's so scary because you're completely in your own world thinking about whatever, and then they just like run up behind you and you're like, oh my god, they just, you know. So that's been like my horror movie of a walk every so often. But I do really like going for walks, and I really like just my goal for right now, and I think it's all that I can do, is like do some things productive. So I will go for a walk and I will like hoover. Does everyone say hoover? Is that Irish? I know that hoover is a brand, but we say hoover as in like vacuuming. I don't know if that's an everywhere thing. I don't think it is, but anyway, we say hoovering. So I will like do, or maybe, I don't know, organize clothes or do something I've been putting off. Just do like one thing, whatever it is, just so I can feel productive, and then I can like treat myself by watching, you know, a movie or something, or playing a video game. And because I've been playing, or because I've gotten like the PlayStation and it's new, and I'm catching up, and I'm like full story game, I have been like fully invested. I have like headphones on, not watching anything else, because I love like multitasking, where I'm like watching something and playing. But with these, I really want to like get into the story, so I'm like full invested in what I'm playing, and it really just makes me lose track of time. So I try not to do it like too much during the day, and I will focus more at night. But then that leads me to going to sleep just so late. So I'm like not doing good at the sleep schedule right now, but that's okay. It's fine. We're doing okay, because I'm having a great time, and I'm gonna let myself have a great time right now. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I think that was like mostly what I wanted to talk about, but I'm sure that just randomly rambling will get me somewhere, because I always feel like I start this with like one thing in mind. I'm like, oh yeah, that will get me through the whole thing. Like, I will talk about this, and my plan this time was to talk about the fact that I've been watching and playing things, and like, yes, it's lasted me like whatever, I think this has been like 15 minutes, I'm guessing, but I think it's like 15, and it really is just like, I never prepare enough. It's just one thing that I'm thinking of, and then the rest I'm like, oh, I'll figure it out along the way, and I usually do. But I think that's why I always feel like they're so disjointed, is because I go in with like one thing in mind. I'm like, oh, I kind of want to talk about this, and then I'll just talk about that for like 15 seconds, because it's not a substantial enough topic to ramble on about for like 30 minutes. I definitely could, but I always feel like that's so boring to talk about one thing for 30 minutes, unless I'm like doing a talking about this kind of video where I just want to do a ramble where I can just talk about anything and kind of stream of consciousness. say will make me think of an idea or think of something to continue the conversation about. But, you know, other times I'm like, I get to the end of a sentence and I'm like, oh no, what's next? I have no idea what to do next, what to talk about next, what to, you know, segue into. I wanted to bring up WandaVision, and I don't know how many people have watched WandaVision, and I won't talk about specific spoilers or plot points, but I will say, if you have Disney Plus, I don't even think you need to have watched superhero movies to enjoy it. It's just like, it's just good. It's just good TV. I talked the same about Mandalorian because I don't really care about Star Wars, and I loved Mandalorian, and I think the same about WandaVision. So yeah, that's something I recommend. I don't want to talk too much about it because people might not have seen it or care, so I don't know, but just if you were thinking about watching it, or like, oh, people have told me about it but I'm not sure, take my professional advice and do it, because it is so worth it. It's so worth it. It's so good. And there was something else that I thought about. Oh, I don't know if this is everywhere. I think it might be. But I know for like the UK and Ireland Disney Plus, we have Star. The Star service that just came to Disney Plus. And I am recording this on the day before it comes out. And I'm going to release it a little bit later because the last video I posted was a Whisper Ramble, which was the coloring video, so I don't want to just like, so it's going to be a little bit out of order, and I don't want to just have like Whisper Ramble. So, yeah, I'm very excited for that to come out because there's a lot of series I want to rewatch or finish. I know in particular, Castle is one of the shows that I loved when I was younger. It is like, similar to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and it is like a police comedy, but more, I would say it's more like serious than Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's got, is his name Nathan Finnegan? I don't know, but he's really good. He's like a writer. He writes books, and he's doing, in the first season he does, he's doing research for his book series that he's writing, and it's about like a female police officer or a female spy or something like that, and he does research with one of the female detectives, and then he starts to like help solve cases, and yeah, it's something I watched when I was like 14. And it's something that is on Star, I think. I'm almost sure it was like listed on their little Star logo. So I'm really, really excited to watch that. But I have so many shows, like I'm spinning so many plates right now, that it's going to be hard to do all 8 seasons of that. But it's definitely like an easy show to watch. It's not something like How to Get Away with Murder, which I'm watching, and I've mentioned, I think I probably have, which is a lot more story based, and that's like something I'll watch, and I'll watch it just watching that, whereas Castle I can have on in the background, you know what I mean? It's just like a whatever, just interesting kind of fun show. So I'm very excited about that, and I think there's a couple other shows I'm excited about having on there, shows I've never seen before. Like I kind of want to get into Lost, and I know that people have said like the later seasons it gets a bit like, what's going on here, but it's something I've never watched, so I might end up watching Lost. Realistically, I don't think I'll end up watching Grey's Anatomy, although that is one of the shows coming on, and it is one of the ones that like people have said, oh, I love Grey's Anatomy or whatever for so many years, but I don't think it's going to be one of the ones I end up watching, mostly because I think it's like 12 seasons, which is 8 seasons is too much to commit to, and if I didn't love Castle as much as I do, it would never ever come into my mind to do it. But yeah, 12 is a bit much, but I know that people love it, like it's like one of people's favorite shows. So I think that's so cool that it's gonna be like just on there for people to watch. I know that Modern Family is gonna be on there, Family Guy, I think. which is gonna be cool. I've never really gotten into Family Guy. I'm more of a Simpsons boy myself. I love The Simpsons. It's another comfort show. I have a lot of comfort shows. Do you know what I wanted to mention? I'm so sorry about my hair. It just feels like an insult to you that it exists like this. And I hate it. I really don't like what my hair is doing right now. It's like really big on the sides, you know what it's a lot. And the back is the same. It's just like heavy and thick. And I don't really like it, but I have to wait till all the hairdressers open again so that I can get it cut again. So I don't know how long that's gonna be, but whatever, you know, dealing with long hair for a while will be alright. Anyone who does have short hair and it has grown a little bit longer will know the like really nice feeling of when you get it cut kind of short on the sides and then put headphones, like overhead headphones on. It always feels like there's so much air between the head and the actual like bar of the headphones. I always was like, wait, I forgot this feeling of like how much just space is between those two. Because my hair is usually stuck in it, especially at this point. It's just a full cushion for the headphones. It's hard for them to even get down because the hair on my head, like top of my head, is so thick as well. It doesn't my hair doesn't grow down, it just grows up and out. I think if I left it for like a year, I honestly think I would have like a full, like gravity defying afro or something. I tried to grow out my hair, which was the worst decision I could have made. Like not cutting the sides or the top or anything for like 6 months, and the sides got to a point where my head was almost a lemon shape. It was just like, it was horrifying. It was just, oh my god. And I remember I had a guy who did my hair. I think I could have been 12, maybe 11, 12, and I was trying to grow out my hair because I hated going to the hairdressers, and I always hated my hair up until like last year, where I just kind of I don't know, embraced the curls. I hated having the curls. It was awful. And it was like my main source of insecurity. But I started to grow it out because I was like, you know what, I just don't want to get my hair cut. I just hate it because it looks so awful all the time. Why would I bother? And so after leaving it for so long, and I was finally like, okay, it's time. This is not working. I have a lemon-shaped head. I'm gonna go back to him and say, can you help me? And he said no, because he doesn't do women's hair, which I was in shock and awe at the fact that I had. Okay, and listen, I said it was long, but like, it's just like bigger hair. Come on. I didn't have like down to like my feet. I wasn't asking to cut layers in it. I wasn't asking for a full wash and blow dry in it. Like an ombre dye in it. I just wanted him to shave